that the funds that are generated from tickets and other enforcement are going into the appropriate sub-accounts so that they know what they're operating with every year, as opposed to going into a general account where we can't keep track of expenditures. That's been a pattern and practice with this village for far too long, and it's really put us in difficult situations. So one of the things that I'll be doing with our finance clerk is now visiting the banks to begin to set up those appropriate sub-accounts to make sure that funds that are brought in are going to the appropriate accounts so that they're used for the specific purposes to which they are allocated. That's something that we can do immediately to start getting a handle on how we're using our funds in the village. And then the other piece is really with the legal team and just getting a handle on the costs and the legal landscape of the village. This is a huge area that needed to be addressed. And one of the things that I've spent a significant amount of time doing is having to review some of the past invoices just to see what it has cost the village in just legal fees in general. And so what we've done is we've met collectively with our attorneys just to really assess the full landscape of our legal liabilities and to make sure that we're all operating on the same page, to have a path forward that can save the village money at every turn and with every case that we have, but also so that we have a legal strategy that actually operates in the best interest of the village. And so we will be meeting regularly now with all of the village attorneys to do that assessment on a regular basis so that we'll have something to report out. For the trustees, all of this reporting that is now being required from every department is so that we can provide you with actual talking points and speaking points so that you can speak intelligibly about what's happening from a staff standpoint in the village, so that as you're engaging with constituents, you'll be able to confidently respond to questions that occur. You'll have data points that we can present to you in a timely fashion so that you can be sure what information that you're conveying to residents. And also to make it easier for you to bring questions back to myself and to even staff members as needed. And then the last thing is just to give our police chief an opportunity to preface the proposed public safety town hall that we discussed that we're thinking about having in August.
Good evening, everybody. Very quickly, myself and the village manager sat down and met in regards to the upcoming forum town hall that the mayor is having. And as a police chief, I've been, as I should, getting overwhelming amount of phone calls from residents in regards to various concerns and various issues in the village that they want addressed. So what we decided to do is to separate the public safety piece of the town hall meeting and put it on a separate day. So it gives the residents enough time just to dedicate their time to discuss public safety and their issues. And the reason I say this is we're going into a budget year. We're going to go into the next budget year. In order for me as the chief of police to develop a proper enforcement strategy from the village, I need input from the residents about what your priorities are, what you see, what you observe, and what your expectations of your law enforcement agency is. So it's very vital that I get as many residents as possible to come out on the 5th of August. It's going to be from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. and it'll be put out via flyer sometime this week. And we're going to try to get this communicated as widely as possible. Based on your input, then I'm going to develop a strategic plan for the police department to move the police department forward in a positive direction in terms of manpower, in terms of officer performance, in terms of community-related policing, in terms of dealing with various and specific problem issues that University Park has. Every town has a makeup in regards to law enforcement activities, and I want to make sure that I get your input before I draft a strategic plan that will be presented to the board to ensure that the village's residents' visions and their goals are incorporated in that strategic plan. So again, that'll be 5th of August 2017, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And this time is totally dedicated to the police, law enforcement, public safety, open questions, open forum, You get to ask whatever question you want to ask. We get to actually have interactive conversation back and forth and actually come up with some solutions. The police department is only as strong as the residents of this village. And in order for us to do our job as efficiently and effectively as possible, we need the residents' support and understanding what your needs and desires are. And that concludes just my portion of that. I do have further things I want to report on, but I do that during the department head report time.
Thank you. That's all.
Thank you very much. I'm very, very impressed with that report. Is refreshing, and we'll have accountability, and there will be no more rumors. That the board will have factual information, and we could share it with people as well. Appreciate that. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I just had a couple of questions in response to her.
Questions?
Thank you for the opportunity to be able to, get into some ideas from you, and I think you have some good ideas. The risk basement workshops, I understand that you're going to try to help with the improvement of safety, and hopefully the objective is to get to a position where we'll be able to get coverage again. Do you have any idea when you might be expecting that to happen? And mainly, most of my questions are when or whether you think the schedule might be for that, including the IT software for and saving us time and also improving the service delivery. When do you think that might be occurring? And in the meantime, when we're looking for detailed reports as part of the IT contribution, what will we be doing in interim until we get the software that can help us do that? And then the last one is with the legal team getting assessment of that full landscape. Will the status of these obligations be presented to Finance Committee or to the public in general as you discovered?
Thank you. Thank you so much for the question. To the first question with the risk abatement workshop, so in my conversations with the insurance firms, it does take a little bit of time to demonstrate. Essentially, we have to demonstrate a pattern of doing the right thing for a certain amount of time. That depends on the number of workshops that we do, and then showing them that we have completed those workshops. So that could be anywhere from a couple of months to 3 or 4 months, which either way would take us into the fall. What it was conveyed to me is that once we have done those steps, it positions us very well to get coverage at rates that make sense for the village. And so one of those firms has actually offered to work with us to hold the workshops and to do the trainings, but it would definitely go into the fall because they have to know that the village is serious about actually taking these measures. It's something that they hadn't seen before. With regard to the software, so the IT software app, we are talking about doing a presentation or demonstration at the August meeting. What that is really just to show you the platform so that you can see how it would work. We're actually in the development stages right now, so based upon feedback from the end user, which would be the residents, we would then take that feedback to the developers and they would tweak the app to make sure that it's tailored specifically to what the residents want and need. But the goal that I conveyed to the IT director is to do a demo at the August 8th meeting. So there will be a presentation of some sort at that meeting for him. With the other software that we're looking at, the timeline is really based upon, number one, our capacity to get software at a price that makes sense for the village. In the interim, what I've asked of the department heads is for manual reports, meaning that if that means we have to hand count the number of stickers that are sold, that's what we have to do, and we'll use Excel. We can't afford to not get the kinds of detailed reports that we need simply because our software is out of date. And so we've had this conversation already with staff, and they are fully prepped to provide those manual reports in the interim. And then once we're able to onboard to the software, we'll be able to move forward fully updated with the needs of the 21st century. As far as the status of the legal obligations, yes. So for certain, what comes out of those conversations will inform our planning for the budget. What we found, or at least what I found, is that the existing budget did not take into account the liabilities existing from current lawsuits that are on the books and some that were pending and we're now in the process settlement conferences, et cetera. So all of that, as those cases are closed, as cases are settled or closed or what have you, we'll be able to now put those numbers into the budget so it more accurately reflects what our true expenditures are as a village for the year. So we will definitely be providing that information to the Finance Committee so that the numbers can be accurate to reflect the village's liabilities and expenditures.
Thank you very much. Okay, one more, and we have to move on. We have a time. I don't know.
Good evening,
Good
everyone. To the village manager, welcome aboard. In the event, I don't know if you have an open door policy. In the event you do, can you give me specific date and/or time to try to contact you?
Yes, so for the time being, what I've asked the village staff to do is to take down the information so they actually keep a log of all of the requests for meetings. In these first few months, because of the nature of essentially where the village is, both financially and otherwise, it's very difficult for me to have a set time frame within which to meet. What I've expressed to the staff is that to take down that information, and then when I get a regular set of office hours, we'll present that to the village. But right now, it's just on an ad hoc basis. So if it works with the calendar, if you want to meet on a particular date, we just have to set up that meeting. But right now, I don't have office hours because the work isn't conducive to having set office hours yet.
Okay, thank you.
And just for, just Ms. Strauss, I'm sorry, Ms. Strauss, just to let you know, that's the main reason we're having the open discussion right here. You have questions, this is the opportunity to address her.
Okay.
Questions and answers.
All right, I have been listening to you.
No worries. But if you have anything, you can bring it right here to the board.
Okay, thank you very much.
You can also email too.
Yes.
Pardon?
You can also send an email as well to
Okay.
follow up.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, action items, thank you very much, everyone. Thank you very much. And the audience, unfinished business, first, second, and third read ordinance of Village of University Park, Willowwood County, Illinois, authorizing execution of an employment agreement between the Village University Park and Dr. Amara Inya for services of the village manager. Is there a motion? So moved by trustee Wilson, second.
I'll second.
Second by trustee Brooks. Questions, concern, comment?
I got questions and a comment. I know we had talked about it, Mayor, you have been busy. My first question will be, this contract that's in here is not the contract that the Board of Trustees spent until 12:30, the last board meeting, to get together for the village manager. Why is that contract not in here? This is a contract that Amara Madam Village Manager apparently has counter offered. Why is the contract that we offer generated for Amara so that the public can have the option to see what we offer? Because I believe that was probably the best contract that could have been actually negotiated among the Board of Trustees, considering all of us here on the board gave great ideas and suggestions and so forth.
Attorney, can you, because I thought that was it, and that's why that's why it goes to the board, and I am available. I'm available every Friday, anybody want to talk to me, but we went to the attorney, I didn't hear anything from anybody, and now, what's the difference? What changed, attorney? I'll let you speak to that.
There's a few changes. So I looked through my file. One was the compensation package. Which the offer was $85,000 salary and payment of 43.3% of salary for the village manager to put towards her benefits, and a possible bonus of $10,000 after 1 year. And the village manager whose counter was a straight $126,000 annual salary with no bonus. Second difference, there's a proposal that the manager had to observe the hours of operations at Village Hall to be present unless the manager is attending to village business outside of the office. The amendment is shown, went back maybe to a prior contract, it's discussed that it's recognized that the manager must devote a great deal of her time outside normal office hours to the business of the village, and as such, the manager will be allowed to vary her working hours in the office if she so deemed appropriate, as to ensure that work of the village is completed in accordance with the duties and responsibilities of the position. The third item, which was also under section 4B, the proposal was, well, under statute, the village manager is required to attend all regular and special meetings of the village board. Proposed language was to include in other meetings as required. Counteroffer was the village manager seeks that the manager shall attend every regular and special board meeting in the village university park. In those meetings for which her attendance is required pursuant to ordinances of the village and statutes of the state of Illinois. The fourth difference was in regards to general expenses. The village manager indicated.
Where is that? I'm sorry.
That is section 5. Well, it used to be section 5 of the contract. Actually, yeah, I'm still but that was the old section 5 of the contract, was for general expenses, and that she could submit receipts, get paid up in cash. She indicated that she did not need that, so that she did not need the general expenses provision in reference to petty cash payments. So that section was removed. And this is a contract I was requested to put before the board. But those are, to the best of my knowledge, information. I believe those are the differences between what was proposed and what is the contract that you have in front of you.
Question. Yes. So on the salary, the board's proposal was 85,000 plus what?
43.3%
And-
salary for her to put towards benefits.
And what is that in a dollar amount? Yes, I can hear you, but thank you for that.
Okay.
You didn't have
I can speak louder. The total, the salary plus 43.3% comes to $121,000, $121,805.
And so the board's proposal was $121,800 plus a potential up to $10,000 bonus. And she changed, counter offered $126,000 and no bonus. Is that correct?
That's correct, and that's what's in the.
Plus benefits.
That's in the
That's what's
43%.
included in the contract if you read it.
Where is that?
That was,
She didn't want benefits.
yeah, actually, that was going to be one of my questions when we got around to this item, 3B,
Section 3.
section 3, paragraph B.
That's the,
Make that 4B.
section 4B is.
I mean, to make that 4A.
4A.
4A. Simply says, says the village relate to sick leave, holidays, other fringe benefits and working conditions that now exist for department heads. Don't all department heads currently get benefits, so won't that include benefits if she's gonna have the same benefits as the department heads? 4A.
You want to speak to that?
I'm gonna let you try, and I have a question. I thought the benefits were insurance and those
Right.
other extras, not days off that the village is closed.
Yeah, but there is, also includes other fringe benefits as it relates to a department head, so it's a pretty inclusive term in the contract.
So what's the 43%? 43% of what?
That
So
was-
that's what my original question,
Yeah.
Trustee, I'm sorry. So attorney, my original question was 85,000 plus a 43%, what is that? Of what? What's the 43%?
43% of her salary, which would be 85,000. Or are you asking what the 43% represents?
Correct.
My understanding is 43.3% represents the compensation package that was in the last budget, I believe, or the last, the acting village manager had. She had a salary of 85,000, and then if you broke out the benefits she was receiving, that came to 43.3%.
Right.
And what are those benefits?
Yeah, which is why I question the inclusion of other fringe benefits as it relates to department heads in 4A.
Yes, he does.
Yes, I said, that's why I questioned the provision in regards to other fringe benefits as it relates to section 4, paragraph A.
Yeah, in the contract, maybe that language should be stricken. The contract typically has provisions for pension benefits, under IMRF, pension benefits, insurance, those sorts of things. This village manager will not be receiving insurance from the village, nor will she be receiving pension benefits. This paragraph A,
Or petty cash.
this paragraph A was what was in here before. Maybe it was an oversight, but there was additional provisions in the contract concerning insurance. Maybe that language could be stricken.
The other fringe benefits?
I'm sorry, Clerk Jones?
Just a quick question. As it refers to IMRF and pension benefits, is that not mandated? It's equated to IMRF, the village manager position, and has been. So is that something you can just opt out of? As an employee, I don't know if you can opt out of IMRF, since that position is equated to.
What's the question? I don't think he doesn't want to. Sorry.
Maybe we'll have to contact the Illinois Municipal Retirement Fund, but as it stands, she under this contract, she would not be getting pension or insurance. It's a state.
And nor will she be getting the petty cash. She doesn't want that as well.
Madam Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I'd like to make a motion to table this until we get these issues resolved.
This was.
It is not debatable, Mayor,
No,
as a point of
No,
order.
I'm saying.
As a point of order, Mayor.
We have questions. I'm not understanding. This woman has worked here 2 months. Hard. No pay. And now, there was just a little change, what you saw. I didn't get a phone call. You didn't say anything to me about it. Had that been, and I kind of figured this was going to happen. We did sit here till unreal hours of the night.
Mayor, we were instructed by the attorney not to respond. In the email.
Mayor, may I be
Not to respond to
recognized?
me, just a second, just not respond to you.
I did put not to respond out of precaution that someone could reply all then if you're discussing public business in violation of the Open Meetings Act. So I did.
So you could have responded individually, not to reply all. Okay, trust.
That's not what, Mayor, the email, and I quote, says, do not, in bold letters, do not respond to this email. A response, the mail may run afoul of the Open Meetings Act. Doesn't say anything about individual, anything.
I mean, that's a given that we understand that now.
But that's
We
what,
can go
that was the
Microsoft 101.
instruction from our attorney.
Understandably so, but our clerk has said the same thing. And then she came back to say and explain electronic, she defined electronic meetings. She said, if you have something, do not respond to all, always respond. If there's a phone call, you could have picked up the phone, so that I won't do that. But that's Microsoft 101. Okay.
Madam Mayor, I didn't get a chance to finish my comment. The problem I have is that in this contract that we offered, we asked that the village manager at least report to Village Hall. That's all that we were asking. We were asking for a reasonable salary. I'm going to tell you right now, Madam Mayor, and I'm just going to be honest because I'm tired of being sugar-coated or trying to sugarcoat something. I'm just going to be truthful and honest like I did on the campaign trail. And here's the truth. She has not been at Village Hall. She was appointed on the 15th of May. That's 39 working days. Now, I know you're going to sit here and say she was outside working the village, but Madam Mayor, out of 39 working days, she has been at that Village Hall less than 20 hours of these 39 working days. If you ask me did I watch, yes, I watched. It is imperative that we have a village manager here to run this village. That's all that I'm asking in that other contract. If she said yes, I would give a yes vote. I'm telling the people right now, $131,000. The $10,000 is the bonus. She accepts it. Amara will have my vote yes. But the problem that I come here is that we're spending so much energy. I've been in office 62 days. We have not accomplished anything, Madam Mayor, and then I'm listening. I'm sorry, Amara. I was listening to you. Let me tell you, if you was here on the week of the 15th, on May 15th, all the things about the finances, when there was supposed to be a transition, everything you talked about, I knew about on that day. Madam Mayor, she is not supposed to give that until item G2. It was nice that she did that for the people and sweeten it up before we talk about this, but no. Then let's go down to the software. Ladies and gentlemen, I know when I get up there, there's a problem with the software. And I'm going to give you a key word, FBI. They will not move forward on the software, so good luck on that. They want to hold the finances until they finish what they're doing and then allow the village to continue its business. Now, I'm telling you as a police officer, because I have nothing to lose. And nobody, this paycheck, by the way, doesn't mean anything. Because I tell you right now, from the day I die, my wife will be taken care of and my children until they die. So I'm telling you the truth. This village has to move forward, and I'm sorry that I seem angry, because the fact is that every time I'm ready to have this discussion, we keep moving into executive session, or it gets tabled. And I can't repeat what we say in executive session, but we had a storm, we had a homicide, we had a shooting. The village manager is not here, and even when she is here, well, I can't say when she was here, but the storm on the 20th, man, I asked you, where was she on the 20th? That storm was in the middle of the day, lights was out here, trees was down. Where was she? I'm still waiting for that email. Excuse me, have not Bola and everybody else. I don't want to hear that when I sat as chair of the Police and Fire Commission. A contract can get done. Now, if you want to know the truth is that the $15,000 was that curveball thrown at us, ladies and gentlemen. There were people that the mayor had that can run this village. If I would have known that we were about to go through this, I would have voted no. Because there was an offer, one person said they would do this for $87,000, Mayor, and then she throws this curveball of $15,000. You say it's negotiable. I sent you an email of $9,200 a month, plus. She said she wanted, with the $15,000 if she stayed, I said, let the bonus be no more than $180. Let the bonus be no more than $180 a year. I did that as a negotiation, and then when I show up at the next board meeting, the day of the next board meeting, I get an email of a $12,000 contract. So when we hear someone say they went down several thousand, it wasn't several thousand a month. So what my comment and my vote will reflect is that the contract we gave was a beautiful contract. The only thing it asked was that she comes to Village Hall. I think everybody has the right to see their village manager. She's not going to be here all the time, but I will tell you, David Savier, you had Lanier, you had Bola, every John Townsend, whether you like it or not, it has been every village manager I can walk in, the police and fire commission, they're here. And there's been times that they, because this is a managerial board, our form of government as commissioner runs the same way. So they have the right to walk in and talk to the village manager. This has not happened yet where I can walk in and talk to my village manager. We haven't even went to a 9 to 5 yet up there at Village Hall. We haven't changed anything. The energy of this board has been strictly about this contract. And the contract was a curveball. And all I'm saying, Madam Mayor, ladies and gentlemen, if I would have known that she was going to throw a $15,000 curveball at me, I would have said, Madam Mayor, let's go with somebody else, because everybody was willing to work with you, Mayor. Everyone loves your ideas. She has beautiful ideas, but I also believe if you're sitting at Village Hall, it can get it done. Now, I seen you all working up at Village Hall. I seen the email start generating around the Wednesday of last week. So yes, you all were making a move, but the move was 39 days late. So we have to make these changes. We can move forward. That bond of the 1998 bond, if there was a transition, ladies and gentlemen, you would have known that that 1989 bond on May 31st that was not paid, it would have been paid if she had came and did the transition like they promised Curtis McMullen and myself, Trustee Curtis McMullen. That's why we keep getting into these ruts. You elect me to do it, you elect me to tell you the truth, and I'm telling you again, the money don't matter, but you know one thing I told you, I will not lie to you. And I'm telling you the truth. Now, Mary, I yield my time back to the chair, but my frustration is over someone who's playing games of going a couple $100 over what we offer, and then say, I don't have to be at Village Hall all the time. Everybody else did.
There's a motion on the floor to table, but since trustee has had the opportunity to talk, Trustee Page, would you oblige me?
He did, you can. You can. It was.
So, Trustee, you mentioned that every other village manager has sat in the office from 9 to 5.
That's a lot.
And they may have, or they may have not. But at the end of the day, what counts is what gets done. Dr. Enya has not been paid